Cold feet ruins winter rides. I finally found the fix, and it actually works. If you're anything like me, you've probably been riding and stuck inside the last few months due to the cold weather, dreaming of times when you can get outside and ride again. Then, when it finally gets warm enough, you get outside and you struggle to stay warm. I've been riding for 9 years, and no matter what I tend to do, I can't seem to keep my feet warm. Everything else is fine, but I struggle to keep my feet warm. Now, this video is not about how to layer. There are plenty of other videos out there that already show you that. In fact, I like to use this guide. This video is about how to actually keep your feet warm because I have finally found the secret. I found a hack that works so well, I was able to ride in 20-degree weather and my feet stayed warm the entire time. So let's get into it. Okay, before we get into the hack, let's look at why cycling shoes don't really work that well in the winter. The main reason is they're designed to actually vent to allow airflow in. Most good cycling shoes will have vents on the side and on the bottom to allow ample amount of airflow to keep your feet cool in those summer months. Now, before we go any further, you could spend a lot of money and buy winter cycling boots, and that's fine. The problem for myself is I can't justify the $300 to $500 for a pair of shoes that I'll only wear a handful of times a year. So I set out to try a few different things, and I failed most of the time. The setup I've been running up until recently has been my shoes, some really thick ski socks, and then some really nice shoe covers. These are great, and they're part of the solution, but I was missing a few key parts for this. So let's get into it. First, in order for this to work, you're going to want to grab some aluminum foil. This acts as a thermal barrier to reflect heat back towards your feet. Take out the insoles of your shoes, place them on the aluminum foil, and then trace the outline of the insole. Then cut out a piece that matches your insole and place it underneath and then cover it back with the insole. This helps to insulate your feet from the cold coming through your pedals at the toes. Next, wear hiking style wool socks. They wick moisture and keep your feet warm without being too thick. When I first started, I thought thicker socks were better, but they actually resist circulation and make it harder for this hack to work properly. Thirdly, you're going to need some toe warmers. You can grab a box of them from Amazon for like 20 bucks, and each small pack comes with 2 toe warmers. Now, grab some toe warmers and place them on the bottom of your feet. So you can use 1 pack for your ride, or you can use 1 pack per foot. You can put them on the bottom, the top, or if you're like me, I like them on both. I find that allows my feet to stay warm while still creating enough airflow to keep the heat be activated. Now, when you put your foot in, it will feel a little crammed if you put them on the bottom and the top, but I didn't mind that at all because to me it felt warmer. Once you have everything in place, put on your shoe covers as usual. This traps the heat while blocking out the cold wind and the moisture, completing the setup. I tried this hack and it actually worked. I went out in 20-degree weather, which is usually way colder than I would normally go out. Normally my threshold is only about an hour, and I was able to ride for an hour and 40 minutes and have 0 issues with my feet. I tested this on some fast descents and some long climbs, and when I got back, my feet were still dry, warm, they weren't red, there was no numbness, and I didn't have that prickly feeling in my toes that I normally get. So I would say this ride or this test was a massive success. If you've been struggling to keep your feet warm in the winter, give this hack a try. If you've got some other hacks that work for you, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them.